Mythological stories and legends of folklore are crucial to the human belief structure. Throughout our history, many of the fantastic stories in literature and folklore that have been created feature some kind of dichotomy, like the concept of yin and yang, or good versus evil. For every hero there is a villain, or even an anti-hero. With Christmas quickly approaching, many children around the world are excited at the prospect of the arrival of Santa Claus, or Saint Nicholas. Visiting homes every Christmas Eve, bearing presents to the well-behaved among them. Many, however, are unaware of an old Central European tradition that invokes an entity that is the opposite of jolly old Saint Nick. This anti-Santa is known as Krampus. He appears on the 5th of December each year to take care of all of the badly behaved children from around the world. This creature is said to be a half-demon, half-goat man. A kind of humanoid hybrid. Krampus is tall and covered in a dark fur with sharp goat's horns. He is also equipped with a long grasping tongue and a pair of cloven hooves. In some depictions, however, Krampus is said to have only one hoof, but on his other leg, he had a human-like foot. In most depictions, Krampus also wears chains, which some believe were introduced by Christians to bind demons. These chains may be remnants of pagan traditions of the past. In any case, Krampus has been known to bump those chains around, to heighten the drama. According to researchers, Krampus may have its origins in pre-Christian Alpine traditions and folklore. It is well known that pagan traditions were intertwined with Catholicism early on in the Alpine regions of Central Europe. During this period, the residents of the area had a long-standing tradition of dressing up and disguising themselves as demonic beings called perched. The name perched was thought to have meant the bright one. Perched was a humanoid goat with a giraffe-like neck, covered in animal skins, much like Krampus. Eventually, the Catholic Church tried to outlaw the practice, but due to its small population living in pockets scattered throughout the land, it could not be enforced. Adherents of the perched tradition were inspired by a seasonal Christian play, called the Nicholas Play. This play was about the morality of biblical Adam and Eve. In the play, instead of being good, Santa Claus rewarded children for their academic efforts. As in many areas where pagan traditions merged with Christianity, Nicholas Spiel influenced people to begin performing a kind of primordial Krampus activity. Many wore costumes and performed a procession called the Perched Aloft. During this affair, the morals of Saint Nicholas would be introduced. Krampus's identity could be traced back to the horned witch god. He also used bundles of birch twigs, or rods, for initiation ceremonies at certain gatherings, including restraining and scolding in a form of staged death. Santa Claus is the patron saint of children, and is known for giving gifts to the well-behaved. While Krampus, who in Germanic tradition, very often accompanies Saint Nick, and will punish children by giving them coal and hitting them with sticks. Perhaps more frightening is the story of Krampus warding off bad children by tying baskets and bags to his back. A placeholder for the misbehaving youth. According to legend, Krampus has several ghastly punishments. Drowning them in a river, eating them, physically assaulting them, and throwing them into hell. Whatever the method, it's clear that the threat of Krampus snatching you up seemed very real in the worst possible way. And that kept the misbehaving children scared straight. The feast of Saint Nicholas is held annually on December 6th. But the day before it, December 5th, is Krampusnacht, or Krampus night. The most feared around the world, among mischievous children. This is the night when this demonic creature appears in the streets, ready to inflict severe punishment. Krampus visits every house and shop in town, leaving bundles of coal and birch twigs, and taking away all the bad children, dispensing judgment. Parents of households with naughty children who receive a bundle of sticks, paint them gold, and hang them decoratively around the house, to remind their naughty children that Krampus may well return and take them away, if they misbehave. Those who survive his wrath may very well enjoy the gifts Santa Claus brings on December 25th. Events and parades called Krampslauf or Krampus Run were held to celebrate this mythical creature. At these events, people from the European Alps dress up as Krampus, and many send and receive funny Krampus greeting cards, so-called Krampus cards, containing funny rhymes and poems. Historically, Krampus has been portrayed as terrifying and menacing, but in modern times his appearance has evolved into something more Cupid-like, in some interpretations. Traditionally, it's also customary to offer the alcoholic beverage, schnapps, when Krampus comes to your home or place of work. In the 1920s, Austria's fascist government proceeded to ban Krampus celebrations between the Fatherland Front and the Christian Socialist Party. The Krampus tradition was largely ignored and forgotten for decades. However, in recent years, more and more people are reviving the old Krampus tradition. In America, this phenomenon is on the rise as more and more people become aware of this ancient story. Appearances in horror films, animations, and even video games about Krampus have all made their way into popular culture. It seems that old traditions have been given new life, and thus, Krampus can enjoy a long and frightful career for years to come. That concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share and subscribe to this channel, and please consider sharing my videos on other platforms, and supporting me on Patreon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.